Hello everyone. Today's video is about how to understand fast English speakers. Before you ever try to understand fast English speakers, before you replay another video, before you feel that familiar tension in your chest when someone speaks and the words rush past you like wind through trees, I want you to pause and hear this clearly, deeply, without doubt. Nothing is wrong with you. Nothing about your struggle means you are incapable, unintelligent, or behind. What you are experiencing is not failure, but the natural friction of growth, the sound of your mind stretching into a new rhythm it has never lived in before. That feeling of being lost, overwhelmed, or discouraged is not a sign to stop. It is a sign that something important is happening inside you, something invisible and powerful, something that every fluent listener once went through in silence. Understanding fast English speakers feels difficult because your brain is not yet trained to hear English as a living, moving system. It still hears English as individual pieces, as separate words that must be caught, translated, and analyzed. While native speakers no longer operate at that level, they speak in chunks, in emotional shortcuts, in sounds that blend together and disappear. Meaning for them is automatic. When these two systems collide, your careful, thoughtful listening meets their fast, effortless speaking. The result feels like chaos, like noise, like failure, even though it is neither. Your brain is trying to do something extraordinarily complex. It is decoding unfamiliar sounds, predicting meaning, holding memory, managing attention, fighting anxiety, all at the same time. When speed is added, the system overloads, not because it is weak, because it is still learning how to prioritize, how to let go of details and hold on to essence, how to stop chasing every word and start trusting the flow. This is why fast English feels impossible at first, because your brain wants certainty, control. It wants to understand everything. Fast speech offers none of that. It demands surrender. Surrender is terrifying when you are used to measuring success by correctness. Real listening is not about understanding every word. It is about understanding enough to move forward, enough to respond, enough to feel connected. Learning to do that takes time. Not because you are slow, but because your brain is rewiring itself, creating new neural pathways that did not exist before. Pathways that can only be built through repeated exposure. Patience. Calm attention. When you listen to fast English every day, even when you understand very little, something is happening beneath the surface. Your brain is mapping sound patterns, recognizing rhythms, learning where meaning usually hides. This process is slow and quiet and deeply unexciting. Many people quit before it works. They are looking for dramatic improvement, sudden clarity, a moment when everything clicks. Real comprehension does not arrive like lightning. It arrives like dawn, gradually, almost invisibly, until one day you realize you are following a conversation without effort, not because you worked harder, because you stayed longer. Training your ears is not about slowing everything down forever. It is about learning to tolerate speed without panic, to listen without stopping, to let words pass without chasing them. Every time you stop, rewind, translate, and analyze, you train your brain to believe English is dangerous, overwhelming, something that must be controlled. A brain in fear cannot learn efficiently. Calm is not a luxury in language learning. It is a requirement. Calm tells your nervous system it is safe to listen, safe to miss things, safe to keep going. When your body relaxes, your brain opens. Patterns sink in naturally. Memory improves not through force, through familiarity, through hearing the same phrases again and again, in different voices, different speeds, different contexts. They stop being noise. They start being known, and your brain recognizes them instantly without translation. This does not come from studying lists. It comes from living with the language, from letting it surround you, from accepting confusion as part of the process rather than something to fight against. Daily improvement is slow by design. Your brain changes incrementally, strengthening connections a little at a time. Slowness is not an enemy, it is a safeguard. It ensures that what you learn stays with you, that comprehension is deep and resilient, not fragile and dependent on perfect conditions. Mindset matters more than shortcuts. Shortcuts promise speed without transformation. Understanding fast English is not a trick, it is a transformation. It requires you to become the kind of listener who can tolerate ambiguity, who can stay present even when not everything makes sense, who can trust that understanding will come later. This kind of listener is built through discipline, not desperation. When you approach listening with patience, you tell yourself progress does not need to be visible today to be real. Showing up is enough. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. Over time, this belief changes how you experience English. It stops being an obstacle. It starts becoming a companion, something you walk with rather than chase. Patience and consistency literally rewire your listening ability. Repetition strengthens neural pathways. The brain adapts to what it experiences regularly. If you expose it to fast English calmly and consistently, it will adjust. It will learn where to focus, what to ignore, how to predict meaning. Eventually, speed will stop feeling fast, not because speakers slow down, because you speed up internally. Frustration comes from the belief you should already understand. Hope comes from accepting that understanding is being built. Discipline grows when you commit to the process rather than the outcome. When you decide to listen every day, not to test yourself, not to prove something, but to become something. You are not failing when you don't understand. You are practicing. Practice is not meant to feel good. It is meant to build capacity. Capacity reveals itself only after enough repetition. There will be days when everything sounds like noise, days when you doubt your progress, days when you feel tired of not knowing. These days are not signs to stop. They are signs that you are exactly where growth happens, at the edge of your comfort zone, where old abilities end, where new ones are forming. The most important skill you can develop as a listener is not speed or vocabulary. It is trust. Trust that your brain knows how to learn. Trust that exposure works even when you cannot see it. Trust that calm repetition will do more for you than anxious effort ever could. When you stop judging every listening session, when you stop measuring yourself against native speakers, when you stop demanding immediate results, you free your mind to do what it does best: adapt. Adaptation is inevitable when conditions are right. Over time, you will notice small changes. You will catch familiar phrases without effort. You will understand jokes you used to miss. You will follow stories even when words are unclear. These moments will feel quiet, deeply satisfying, proof that your patience is working. Fast English is not a wall. It is a current. Once you learn how to float, how to relax into it, it carries you forward instead of pushing you under. This journey is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming comfortable, about being able to listen without fear, to respond without panic,
to stay present even when understanding is incomplete. Real communication has never required perfection, only connection. Choose calm over pressure. Choose daily practice over sudden breakthroughs. Choose patience over shortcuts. Remember, every minute you spend listening, even confused, even tired, even unsure, is shaping your brain. Strengthening your ability, moving you closer to a day when fast English feels natural, when conversations feel alive instead of overwhelming, when you realize the strength you were looking for was being built quietly all along. Stay steady, stay consistent, stay kind to yourself. Fluency is not something you chase, it is something you grow into. You are already on the path, becoming stronger with every breath, every sound, every moment you choose to keep listening.